Good evening, welcome back to the Battle Bunker. I'm the Troupe Master. Hope you all had a very good Christmas and you've had a happy New Year. As most of you be aware, before Christmas we received a new detachment, the Serpents brood. For those that have been playing Ghosts of the Webway, this is what Ghosts of the Webway should have been all along. So let's have a quick look at it. I did use this detachment the other day for the first time. I played against my friend Paul with his Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights has never been a good matchup for me, and unfortunately, there was a lot to learn, and I did lose the game. It was 80 something to 51, I believe, but I did learn a lot, and I'm very, very excited for this detachment. So moving on, let's have a look at the detachment rules. First off, we've got the travelling players, which is the all troops receive the battle line keyword and go up to OC2, and you can include up to 3 of each of the Death Jesters, the Shadow Seers and the Troupe Masters. The actual detachment rule, the Boons of the Brood, weapons equipped by Harlequin mounted and Harlequin vehicle models from your army have the Sustained Hits 1 ability. And also, each time a Harlequin unit from your army disembarks from a transport, until the end of the turn, that unit's weapons have the Sustained Hits 1 ability. Now, notice there it only says transport, it doesn't say Harlequin transport. I do expect this to be FAQ'd at some point, but for the time being, this means that we also receive that ability when we get out of a Falcon or when we get out of a Wave Serpent. Myself, I ran a big brick of 11 Harlequins troop with a Troupe Master in a Wave Serpent, and I did make use of this Sustained Hits 1 out of a transport. So moving on to the enhancements. So the first one is the Key of Ghosts for 20 points. A Harlequin model only, excluding the Solitaire. Models in the Bearers unit have the Scout 6 ability. Really nice. Stick a unit in a dedicated transport in a Starweaver. Now, the Scout 6 transfers to the Starweaver can be really, really useful for getting models up the board early, for a little bit of screening, maybe a little bit of early primary control. So the second one is the Weaver's Wail, again for 20 points. This is Troupe Masters only, adds 3 to the strength and 1 to the attack characteristics of the Bearer's melee weapon. Nice little damage buff there. So it takes your Troupe Master's blade from strength 5, from 5 attacks, strength 5, up to 6 attacks at strength 8, which is really, really helpful. Nice for a little bit of heavy hitting damage there, especially with the +1 to wound and the reroll 1s that the Troupe Master has built in. So the third one is your Fanged Leer. That is a Death Jester only. When we're using the Bearer's Cruel Amusement ability, you can select up to 2 of the abilities for its Shrieker Cannon to gain instead of 1. So for those of you that are not familiar with the Death Jester, I know there's a lot of people don't use him because he's, some people think he's overcosted. So what he gets to do is, when he shoots, he gets to choose Sustained Hits 3, he gets to choose Precision, or he gets to choose Ignores Cover. With this Fanged Leer for 10 points, he can choose 2 of those things. Personally, I don't think it's something that I should be using. I think I can find another use for the 10 points elsewhere, although I do play a Death Jester to hold my home objective. with his lone op. He just sits at the back there, just holds home, fires if he has to, but he's literally just there to score me some points. The Shed Skin Raiment is your 4th enhancement at 25 points. It's a Shadow Seer only enhancement. After both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 Harlequin units from your army and redeploy them. When doing so, you can set those units up in strategic reserve regardless of how many units are already in strategic reserve. May be quite useful, especially if you made a deployment error. But for 25 points, I honestly can't see me ever taking this. I just think that those 35 points between those two detachments, or between those two enhancements, can be used better elsewhere. So moving on, we're going to look at the stratagems for the detachment now. Right, so we're going to start with the Fangs of the Brood. In the fight phase, 1 troop unit from your army until the end of the phase. When using this unit's Dance of Death ability, you can select 3 of the abilities for your unit to gain instead of 1. So again, for those that aren't particularly familiar with Harlequins, each troop unit every fight phase gets to choose reroll 1s, +1 to wound, -1 to hit. You get to choose all 3. So yeah, really handy, really useful. And I use this stratagem on my big Troupe Master brick. They got out of a transport, so they had the sustained hits, and they used this and to remove, I believe it was only an armiger, but it's one of those things that on a big brick unit like that, you slap this on there with the sustained hits, with the devastating wounds, with the reroll 1s, with the +1 to wound. This is the sort of thing you use when you absolutely have to delete a unit. You have to delete one of your enemy's units. That unit, the way I run it, I think I counted out 56 attacks coming from that unit. With the sustained hits, really good. So the next one is your Venomous Wrath. It's your shooting phase. 1 Harlequin vehicle unit from your army that is not been selected to shoot this phase. After this unit has shot, if it is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to 6 inches until the end of the turn. Your unit is not eligible to declare a charge. This is the sort of thing I'd use on a Void Weaver. I know some people out there aren't using Void Weavers. I really like the Void Weaver. I like the 18-inch lone op. I like the stealth. It's a baby fire prism in reality with 2 shuriken cannons. This toughness 6 wound vehicle, with a 4 up invul save. You're getting sustained hits on your prism cannon. You're getting sustained hits and lethal hits on your shuriken cannons. Alright, only 24-inch range. Okay, it's medium range, but he can still shoot you or you can still shoot him before he can shoot you. And then with the ability to shoot and scoot 6 inches, really interesting to use. I'm looking forward to making a bit more use of that one. So the next one we're going to look at is the Striking Stride. This is your charge phase. 1 Harlequin unit from your army until the end of the phase. Your unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. So take note here, it says the charge phase, so you do not need to make the decision as to whether you want to use this before you make your advance move. Chances are you're going to, but again, this is something that I used in conjunction with the big brick. I got them out of the Wave Serpent 3 inches out. I moved them the 7 inches and advance them, a 2-inch movement token from your for your extra 2 inches, and then there was a charge move on top of that. That's halfway, 3/4 of the way across the board, and into combat. Then you slap the three part stratagem for all three abilities of the Dance of Death. This absolutely deletes a unit that you have to delete. Really interesting. Really looking forward to using that as very much a missile in future games. And then the last one is no, sorry, I don't believe this is the last one. The Weaver's Coil. So end of the fight phase, 2 Harlequin mounted units from your army that was eligible to fight this phase. If you're not within engagement range, you make a normal move. Otherwise, you can make a move of up to 6 inches. So what you've got there is you've got your bikes. We're doing 14 inches plus your 2 for your movement token, giving you 16 inches into combat. Now it says you must be eligible to fight to use this, so you must have charged. You know, you make the fight. If you win the fight, yeah, and you delete the unit you've charged, you can then make another move, another normal move of 14. Maybe you even stick another movement token on there up to 16 inches. You know, massive for movement. If you don't win the fight and you're still within engagement range, then you can fall back 6 inches. Could again be very, very, very tasty when it comes to dealing damage and getting around the board for movement. So the next one you've got is your Weaving Stride. This is, you know, very similar to one we had with the Ghosts of the Webway. Your opponent's movement phase, just after an enemy unit has ended a normal, advanced or fallback move, 1 Harlequin infantry unit from your army that is within 9 inches of that unit, you can fall back up to 6 inches. You know, like I say, it's very similar to one we had in the Ghosts of the Webway. You know, if you're there, they move within 9 inches, you move 6 inches back behind a wall. You know, you're nice and safe, you can't be shot, things like that. So, and then this one is the last one, and this one is your Skyward Lunge, or Skyward Lunge. End of your opponent's fight phase, 1 Harlequin's vehicle or Harlequin's mounted unit from your army. If that unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, you can remove it from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserve. So your Void Weaver, you know, your Sky Weavers, even a Star Weaver with a unit of troops inside, you know, into strategic reserve. You can then even bring them on in your reserves phase of any of your turns, or alternatively, you know, you could rapid ingress them, bring them on from strategic reserve there. So all really, really interesting and useful things to do. So I will be using this detachment on the 17th of this month for my first tournament of 2026. I'm hoping that I've learned a few lessons from playing against Paul the other day, and I shall be studying this, and this is what I shall be running now through until the end of 10 in about 6 months' time. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I do hope you had a fantastic Christmas and a New Year, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. In the meantime, may the dice forever roll in your favour. Thank you very much. Bye bye.